But finding reliable information about caregiver compensation can be overwhelming and very time-consuming. The AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub can help. It's a free online tool developed with support from United Healthcare, where you can search compensation programs, explore your options, and get answers to frequently asked questions. Find out today if it's possible to be compensated for the time, effort, and care you're providing. Visit paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org to learn more.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I'm your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk and text line. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube as well. That's 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. And I can't hold it. I'm so happy to have Sherwin back. I don't know about you, Rhea. I'm so happy that Sherwin is back, healthy, doing the show, leading in. So I'm just completely overjoyed with the fact that Sherwin is back. So that's just very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. And we appreciate you, Truth Nation, for tuning in and chiming in to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and welcoming our great friend Sherwin Hughes back to The Truth. But again, you can watch the stream us live on YouTube, Truth to Power on YouTube, by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe as well, as we are on our road to 5,000 subscribers. Make sure y'all also download the 1017 The Truth app. You can listen and stream us on the app as well. What up to my producer, Rhea Riley, holding it down on the ones and the twos.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed. And shout out to you, Truth Nation. What a weekend it was for me. I told y'all I'm on this marathon of weddings. Rhea, have you ever gone to 5 weddings in 7 weeks?
God, no.
It's 5 weddings in 7 weeks. Starting on the 9th of August, I had a wedding. Shout out to my boy Rimsey. He had a nice, it is great because I'm going black wedding, white wedding. It's fantastic. He had a nice little backyard wedding. It rained. The day that it rained on the 9th and the 10th, we was outside. It was raining cats and dogs out there. I remember looking at my lady. I said, baby, we done seen a lot of rain before, but this feel a little different. And so it rained cats and dogs, but it was a beautiful wedding. They had a nice little live band. Black band, white wedding, black band. Fantastic. She was singing. Great wedding. Then I had a week off. And I went to go see my little cousin down in Denver who he didn't make the roster, but he is on the practice squad, so he's still down in Denver. He can get called up at any time. So shout out my little cousin Jordan Turner for making it on the practice squad for the Denver Broncos. So he is living a little bit of the NFL life. Keep working hard, keep grinding, cuz. Love you. Then I had Ben Bruss, another white wedding, my co-host on Kyle Brust and Nortman, who got married. Great, fun wedding. Had a mixed band. There was some black folks, some white folks, and all that, Hispanic all. So it was a good band. It was good. It was good. It's diversity, DEI, I guess. And then I had a wedding I was in. Shout out to the Goodrum. Shout out to Justin and Jessica Goodrum. And then this weekend, shout out to Brandon and Tanisha Martin on getting married this Saturday. That was a beautiful wedding. That was one of my homeboys growing up. Last week was my frat brother. This week was my homeboy from middle school, 6th grade. Grew up with him, so another black wedding. So fantastic. Then the last one is in 2 weeks. But I'm wedding out, Rhea. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm wedding out. There's only so much dancing you can be doing. And with kids at weddings, I don't know about this, and this isn't where I wanted to go today, but I'm gonna start with this. Rhea, because you know me. Well, you don't know me. You know me, but you don't know me. You know my beautiful girl, right? And so, you know, we like to dance. You know what I'm saying? So we go to these weddings, and you know, your boy like a little junk in the trunk. So, you know, she like to dance, I like to dance, and so we be on the dance floor, you know, grinding, because that's the way that, you know, us millennials, and I know y'all, you know, Gen Xers, y'all did that nasty. Y'all the Uncle Luke generation, so y'all super nasty. But, you know, we have a good time at these weddings, and I'm always uneasy when there's kids at wedding, and when we bumping and grinding, I'm always uneasy about kids being around while, you know, we grinding. And at this last wedding I had, there was not a lot of kids, a couple kids, they have children. And, you know, kids mimic what they see. So, you know, we dancing, and all of a sudden I see the kids start mimicking some of the dance because, you know, When Whammy came on, you know, When Whammy, shake that. And so people start dancing, the kids start mimicking the dance, and I was like, wait a minute. I don't know. I don't think I should be bumping and grinding with kids around here because I don't want these kids thinking this is the way you dance. So we had to adjust the way that we was dancing. But I had a great time. Really great time. Really great time. And I just be thinking, we be the only ones grinding and dancing the whole dang time because that's what we do. Love and happiness. So we enjoy other people's love and happiness and the food by having a good time. And you know I'm definitely ratchet. I love the ratchet music, don't I, Rhea? I really do. Sexy Red, I'm telling you, boy, just wait. Next summer, girl, just wait. It's going to be cracking. But anyways, Truth Nation, I appreciate y'all tuning in and chiming in. And I don't spend way too much time giving some personal life and stuff, but I'm just so happy and overjoyed with my friends and the fact that they're all getting married in their mid-30s, costing me a lot of money. But I had time to save up to get ready for this. But I did my personal weekend recap. Now it's time for the real weekend recap. On the award-winning 1017, The Truth.
Truth Nation, we know you have a busy life and the weekend went by too fast. If you missed any of the headline stories, no worries. We got you covered on the top stories you may have missed. Tap in for the weekend recap on Truth to Power. Kyle, tell Truth Nation the biggest headlines they need to know.
Truth Nation, the biggest headlines you need to know. We're going to start with tragedy that struck Marquette University, tragedy that struck here in Milwaukee. As you all, I've talked about, maybe you don't know, maybe you do know, I've talked about the fact that before I joined Good Karma Brands full-time, I was part-time before, to help launch 1017 The Truth. I used to work at Marquette University. I take great pride in that institution. Now, somebody who is not Catholic, somebody who did not grow up going to a private school, before I took the role, I was a little apprehensive about, you know, why people pay so much to go to colleges and you know, why would you send your kid to a private school? And then I had an opportunity to work at Marquette, and I started to understand the values that these children get, right? The value of the education, but more importantly, they talk about magis, which means more, and they talk about, you know, so much service. And I was recruiting different kids across the country to come to Marquette from some of these Jesuit schools and some of these private schools, and I realized the big difference is at public schools, you have a chance to do service. But at private school, you have the expectation to do service, to give back. And as somebody who has done community service growing up and still to this day, I value service. And so Marquette ended up connected with my values very strongly. Though I'm not Catholic, and I talk about the Catholic Church quite a bit. but the values that they have in caring for others was something that it hit with me. And so seeing the tragedy that struck Marquette University this weekend is very tragic, as 2 lacrosse players were in a vehicle with other lacrosse players and driving, and they were struck by a 41-year-old woman who was drunk driving and speeding off of 27th and St. Paul. And in that accident, these 2 lacrosse players, 19 and 20-year-old, were dead based off this accident, and it is a complete tragedy. You're drinking and driving at 5 p.m., speeding and driving at 5 p.m. I do know the university's torn up, but more for those families who lost a loved one. It's just sad. We got to be better when it comes to the decisions that we make on the road. When you decide to drink, you decide to drive, you decide to speed, you decide to be reckless, do understand that you're putting other people's lives at risk, and you're also putting your own life at risk. And now you have ruined a family forever, right? Imagine you send your kid to college, in this case, scholarships to play lacrosse. You send your kids to college to go live their lives and go grow and go spread their wings. And then you get the tragic news that you never expect to get, especially in this way. So the lady she was arrested, and she will be charged with murder. But again, it was a tragic situation, and my heart goes out to the Marquette University campus and that institution for what they are suffering through and what they had to go through with that tragic incident that happened. So on to the next story, and I'll cut this short here today, is flight refunds are over. Rhea, did you hear about the flight refund situation that happened?
No.
No? Well, that's why we have the weekend recap here on 101.7 The Truth. Now, y'all know I am all about the consumer, and I will never understand how anybody, and I mean anybody, supports government choosing corporations over its own people. I never like that. I never like when people choose business over the consumer. I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan whatsoever. That's why I can't be in certain positions and roles, because I don't believe in taking from people. Right? I believe in giving people the best opportunity to succeed. I believe in trying to meet people where they at. So maybe I'm not the best person to ever be a CEO of a company because I'm not greedy. Right? I believe in helping everybody the way that we can. And so when I see things like our flying industry, which is basically like a monopoly, there used to be so many different airlines. Y'all remember there used to be an airline called AirTran. They got gobbled up. Used to be an airline called Northwest Airways. They got gobbled up. It used to be an airline called Midwest Express. They got gobbled up. There used to be an airline called ATA. They got gobbled up. There's all these. There used to be another one called Continental Air. They got gobbled up. So there's all these airlines that merge, right? And they become these conglomerates. And as somebody like myself who is a frequent flyer, I have had many delays while flying. Rhea, I'm sure you've been delayed while flying. I've been delayed about 3 hours or more while flying before. And it made me miss my connection flight. So I was delighted when I heard the Biden administration was doing something to protect consumers and help consumers be compensated whenever they have a flight disruption. I thought that was fantastic, because at this point, airlines got to choose how they want to compensate you, right? What that compensation was going to be. The Biden administration wanted to better control that, so consumers who do have flight disruptions, who maybe have to miss out on hotels because of a flight disruption, because of, overnight they have a late flight, all of a sudden it's disrupted, or maybe they end up missing their connecting flight, so now they have to do other things. And so the Biden administration had made airlines disclose all hidden charges and service fees. And now, when it came to delays, the Biden administration was going to require for them to pay between $200 and $300 for domestic delays of at least 3 hours or more. And in addition to that, if you were delayed longer than that, you can get up to $775 for longer delays. Now, to me, that seems fair, and that puts the consumer first. Well, of course, as a man of, the rich, Trumpito is canceling this rule. And what a shocker that is. The president that loves money, the president that loves to cozy up with CEOs, is getting rid of a rule that would have helped our consumers. Go figure. I just don't understand how anybody can be okay with us as consumers being on the losing end of this. I don't understand how compensation rules that benefit the consumer is all of a sudden a bad thing. I just don't get that. 833-212-1017. That was your weekend recap here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Now, when we come back on the other side, we're going to talk about, Rhea, should I do job numbers or should I do the N-word? Which one should I do?
I mean, that N-word?
I can do the N-word. I can do job numbers or the N-word. I'm more prepared for the job numbers, but maybe I'll save the N-word for tomorrow. Truth Nation, we're going to talk about the N-word tomorrow.
Okay.
But today we're going to talk about the fact that job numbers came out Friday. I couldn't really do the job numbers show on Friday because I was on remote location and I really want to get into it. I can't get into it like I want to. Like, you don't know how bad, Rhea, I wanted to when we were talking about blackface, black folks doing whiteface. You don't know how bad I wanted to go in, but I couldn't just yell and say all the things I wanted to say. I really was. I don't give a damn if somebody do whiteface. Serves them right. All the stuff they did to us, but I couldn't. The partner was there in front of me, and I just couldn't talk about the whites like that. But I do love Steinhoffels, by the way. Very, very wonderful. Very, very wonderful. Great couches, great stuff. I hope people went there to get a great mattress as well. But when we come back, the job report numbers came out, and it has me pondering, Truth Nation. It has me wondering, are we better off today than what we were a year ago? 833-212-1017. Do you feel better off as a community? Do you feel better off as an individual? Do you feel better off financially? Do you feel better off economically? Do you feel better off physically? Do you feel better off mentally today than what you did on September 8th, 2024? 833-212-1017. That's what I want to know. Because a lot of us last year around this time, a lot of election conversation were happening, a lot of people making promises. Well, have those promises been kept? We'll talk about that on the other side. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. As always, watch and stream us live on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Subscribe and give us a like. And if you want to chime in on the conversation, make sure y'all chime in at 833-212-1017. But when we come back, we'll continue this conversation or start the conversation talking about, are you better off today than what you were a year ago? We'll be back in 3.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Your expression on your face, that's got to me. And the man wasn't lying.
What you mean the expression on my face? How can you see my face? You listening to me on the radio, man.
No, I'm watching you on YouTube, too.
Oh, all right, then. You're an old man, and you know about YouTube. How old are you, Adam? You about 85.
83.
I'll be dipped. How blessed are we to have you?
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Make your home safer. Get rid of unused household chemicals at MMSD Home Hazmat Drop-Off. It's free to visit a collection center. Get all the info you need at MMSD.com. Milwaukee County residents only, no businesses.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. You can call in and text into this show on today's conversation at 833-212-1017. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. And I saw inside of the YouTube, somebody said, I thought Kyle was a square. Damn. She was surprised that I like ratchet music. Dang. That's crazy. Oh, well, I am who I am, I guess. I appreciate you being shocked that I'm not as squarish as you thought. Also, Rhea, so I'm sitting here doing my show, and I get a text message from my lady. And she sits here and says, oh, did you listen to Sherwin's show? I'm like, girl, my show has started. It's 12 o'clock. You asked me, did I listen to Sherwin's show? I said, I didn't get it, bits and pieces, but I'm busy. I'm in meetings it's Monday. I'm always in meetings on Monday. And so she said, oh, you should definitely listen back. You gotta listen back to it. It's so good. You just gotta listen back. I said, thanks, baby. I hope you're listening to mine. I hope you're enjoying my show right now, as you're telling me. So it's a must listen, and so I encourage you all to go back and listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes and all our shows, but definitely listen back to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, as the person who I live with even told me I need to go listen back. But Truth Nation, on the other side, I was asking you about your level of confidence of where we are at today, right? I asked y'all about whether or not you feel like you are better off today than what you were a year ago today, because that is a question that you see asked so often when it comes to administrations and it comes to the election. And that was the question that I saw in so many commercials last year is, are you better off today than what you were 4 years ago? And now within the first 8 months, almost 9 months of a transition from one presidency to another, from one administration to another, I also asked that same question. Are you better off today than what you were simply 9 months ago or really a year ago? Are you confident in the job market? Are you okay with the direction of the country? Like, these are the questions I want to pose, because I want to be fair and balanced. I really do. Now, obviously, I have a lean, but Rhea, you would say I lean a certain way, but I'm not into all the nonsense from the left, right? I call out the left for some of the hypocrisy and the nonsense. I would call myself a moderate, and I respect those on the other side who stand on their morals and their foundation of what they truly believe in. And when I ask this question, I don't want y'all to allow your political bias to get in the way of answering this question truthfully, because I think it's a real question that we need to ponder. Again, 8 months into Trump's second term, are you better off? 833-212-1017. Is this country better off? Talking text line 833-212-1017. Now, of course, I asked this question because the job numbers were released last Friday, and they were very, very bad. Very, very bad. I mean, they were terrible. And they have not been this low since the pandemic. So that just kind of tells you that it took for an event that we have not seen in our lifetime, right? It took for an event like that basically brought the economy in this country to a halt, brought the whole world to a halt. That is how bad the numbers were last week. They reflected what we saw during the pandemic. Now, in addition, we only added 22,000 jobs in the month of August. Now, this is bad because of the fact that we were projected to gain 70,000 plus. 70,000 plus jobs. So when we're projected to add 70,000 plus jobs, and you only add 22,000, and you missed the mark by 50,000 jobs, that's a very, very bad thing. Very, very bad sign of things to come. Now, this is all after you had a poor jobs numbers report in July, and then you had revised numbers of May and June that turned out to be very, very bad. And the result of that was Donald Trump firing the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the director of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, because he didn't like the numbers. He didn't like how she revised them. So now we have a new person that put these numbers out, and the August numbers came back worse than what they were, And the June numbers got revised to be even lower than what were revised before, to us actually losing a net of 13,000 jobs in this country. In 1 month, America had more jobs lost than we had jobs gained. That is problematic. Anytime you're in the red in anything in life, when you're in the red, that's the problem. You always want to be in the black. You always want to be making money. But anytime you're in the red, especially when it comes to jobs, that is a very, very bad sign. Who is to blame this time around? Because the last person they blame was the lady who just basically publishes the numbers. Now there's somebody else in that role that he put in that role, and the news got even worse. Whose fault is this time for simply reporting the facts? See, what annoys me the most about these job numbers and when they come out, and really folks that voted for Trump, is they'll look at this and say, it's not a big deal. There's nothing to concern about. It's early on. We're not concerned about it. I think you should be extremely concerned about our country economically deteriorating in front of our eyes. It's doing the exact opposite of what it was doing 9 months ago. It's doing the exact opposite of what it was doing a year ago. This country, under Biden, was economically soaring. Jobs exceeded pre-pandemic numbers. So we had more jobs by the time Biden left than we had before the pandemic took away a lot of jobs. Wages soared. Unemployment plummeted. Now you're seeing unemployment going up, and you're seeing black unemployment in the 7% right now. Black unemployment is up to 7% during the Biden administration. It got below, I want to say 4. It was definitely in the 4s. Might have got to 3. You had historic lows, and all of a sudden it's soaring up to 7%. How do we look at this as an African-American community, and how do we say this is great? Biden handed off a strong economy that had historic gains in the job market. Biden handed off a country that had high inflation, but it had historic economic foundation being set for manufacturing. And he also brought down inflation from highs, but it was still high without triggering a recession. So, again, I'm going to be balanced because I'm not going to sit here and just talk about all the great things that happened under Biden without talking about inflation, because at the end of the day, the reason why Kamala Harris lost and the reason why Joe Biden couldn't run again is because inflation was too high, the cost of living was too high, and that is what cost him the presidency. But now I fast forward a year. If we thought it was bad last year, we must think we're in hell this year. It has to be hell this year because we lost 13,000 jobs in June and we only gained 22,000 jobs in August. Joe Biden, on average, added 240,000 jobs per month when he was president. Let that sink in. Rhea, I'm not a mathematician, neither are you. But which number is better, 240,000 or 22,000? I'm just asking.
Which number?
Which one would you prefer? Would you prefer to have $240,000 or $22,000?
24.
You would rather have $240,000 or $22,000?
204,000.
240. 40.
Yes.
Right now, our economy is only adding 22,000 jobs per month. In all of last year, you were averaging 100,000 plus jobs last year. Something's not right. And I want to know, Truth Nation, are you better off today than what you were a year ago? 833-212-1017. Security Mike, are you better off today than what you were a year ago?
I'm better off because I'm at a job that I'm doing well at. But most people aren't. And this man is messing up. 22,000 jobs, man? Come on now, they can't call in with a straight face, these Trump supporters, and say, this man is doing a good job. Because now he's on there saying, okay, well, it ain't going to show up till about another year. It's going to show up then in about another year. Come on, man.
Yeah.
These people are, they see now to believe that, and watch, these Trump supporters are going to make excuses, man.
It's interesting because
it's hard for people out here.
What I'm trying to understand, I'm right there with you. I'm financially, I'm doing okay. I don't like how the cost of living continues to go up, but that happened under Biden. It happened for the pandemic. That might be the reality. But it's just hard for me to understand that we had 142,000 jobs that we gained last year, and unemployment dropped down to 4.2% a year ago in August. And now we got 22,000 jobs and unemployment is ticking back up. How is this defendable? Whose fault is this?
You can't defend this.
Thank you, Security Mike. 833-212-1017. Again, I'm trying to understand, Truth Nation, are you better off today than what you were a year ago? Because I'm doing fine. I ain't gonna lie, I'm doing fine. Ain't that much change for me except for the, life just costs a little bit more, but ain't much change for me. But I want to know, are you feeling the pinch? Are you feeling the strain? Or do you feel like things are great? 833-212-1017. And again, what blows my mind with this is that a lot of people talked about last year about how the economy wasn't doing great, even though we had record job numbers, 48 consecutive months of positive job numbers. That's like, I just want y'all to understand. During the administration of Biden, he had 48 straight months of job growth. Now, Rhea gonna get sick of me asking her math questions. Rhea, how many months are in a year?
12.
Okay. And what if a president is president for how many years if they get elected to one term?
4 years.
Okay, what's 12 times 4?
48.
48. And Biden had 48 consecutive months of job growth. So would that mean every single month he was in office he had job growth?
Yes.
Okay, and Trump has been in office for 9 months, or 8 months, going on 9 months. In the month of June, we lost jobs, and the job numbers were abysmal. So all of a sudden, our consecutive streak of jobs being gained was broken under the Trump administration. I wonder whose fault that is. I'm just saying, Truth Nation. I heard y'all during the election. I heard a lot of people call in at different shows sharing their thoughts. But I just want to figure out, do y'all truly feel like y'all are better off today? Because for me, if I hired somebody, I hire a new CEO of a company, and within 6 months of them being at the company, they took the reins of a company that was growing economically every single year, positive job numbers, positive finance numbers, right? We're making money month after month after month for 4 straight years. And then within the first 6 months of them being the CEO, I lose $13,000. I'd be ready to fire them. So that's why I'm just so confused of where are all the folks who called into the truth last summer complaining about inflation? Where are all the folks talking about jobs? Where are all the folks talking about the economy? Where are y'all at? That's what I want to know. Don't hide now, because you can't sit here and vote and have no repercussions and think that we ain't going to say something to you. You can't hide now after you basically sent our black community out and complained about what Biden did. Meanwhile, we ain't getting nothing but high unemployment and getting fired from the current administration. 13,000 jobs lost in a month. After 48 consecutive months in one administration of gaining jobs, all it took was 6 months for him to destroy our economy. And some of y'all are just going to sit quietly. Again, 833-212-1017. You can call in. You can text in, because I do want to know, y'all, do you feel like you are better off today than what you were a year ago? This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. I see y'all in YouTube. Make sure you go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a like. Give us a share. And then also, I see y'all text. We'll get to that all after the break. But again, we're asking a question as we are now 8 months in to the Trump administration. 8 months, a year ago, we were talking about who we were going to elect. We had gotten past the DNC, had gotten past the RNC. We're getting closer to election time. Folks were calling into our station here to try to get your vote. And I want to know, do y'all feel good about the direction of this country? This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. I'll take your calls, I'll take your texts, and I'll read your YouTubes coming up on the other side.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
We are the American Cancer Society, making strides against breast cancer. We are nearly 1 million strong and growing stronger every day. Join us on Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. at Summerfest Southgate as we come together for the Making Strides of Milwaukee Walk. Whether you walk for a survivor, in the memory of a loved one, or to support the American Cancer Society, you bring us closer to a future free from breast cancer. Are you ready to join the #1 breast cancer movement in the country right here in Milwaukee? Sign up for free today at www.makingstrideswalk.org/MilwaukeeWI.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family-owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
I want you to really stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. And to your point, our black and brown donors, it probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base. That's attributed to multiple reasons. For those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system. And quite frankly, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. The only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just a what I'll call average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Green Bay Packers steamrolled the Detroit Lions 27-13 for the first game of the NFL season.
As Goff's being chased by Parsons. Look out! He's got him! His first sack as a Green Bay Packer.
Packers are back in Lambeau on a short week. They return Thursday to play the Washington Commanders. The Brewers pack up the Pirates in a 3-0 sweep series, sitting at 89-55 on the year.
Jacob Mizorowski gets through 7 while retiring the last 13 that he faced.
They now face the Rangers in Arlington in a 3-game series. Badger football won against Middle Tennessee 41-10 on Saturday. They now look to face 19th-ranked Alabama next Saturday. 8th-ranked Badger volleyball will take on UW Milwaukee Tuesday night at 7. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth and Truth Nation. Kyle Wallace here for Steinhoffel. Steinhoffel has extended their Labor Day sale, and they are celebrating the start of the Packer season. Go Pack Go. Right now, you can save 10% off store-wide or choose 36 months, 0% financing, plus you'll score on a $100 Packers gift card when you spend over $19.99. Go ahead and get you a Micah Parsons jersey, or get you a Jordan Love jersey, or get you a Matthew Golden jersey. You can get so much with that gift card, with the Packers gift card, when you shop at Steinhoffel's and spend over $19.99 at Steinhoffel's. But hurry! This is your last chance for Labor Day savings on all the best mattress brands with up to 60 months, 0% financing. Steinhoffel's, a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers. Shop in store or online anytime at steinhoffels.com. That is steinhoffels.com. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, your host of Truth to Power. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. That is 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. by giving us a like and subscribe as well. We're just having a conversation about, do you feel better off today than what you did a year ago? Because we had an election season last year where a lot of promises were made, right? A lot of promises about how this was going to be the golden age for America, that we were going to go into a golden age, and a lot of people bought into that. But statistically, when you look at the numbers, right, you look at the facts, you take away emotion, you take away political bias, you take away who you like and who you don't like, right? When you take all that away, and we just look simply at the numbers. Because remember, they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And when you look at the numbers, you see black unemployment rate is up 7%. Oh, excuse me, it's over 7%. You see the job numbers are down. We're talking about 22,000 jobs added in the month of August, where a year ago we added 142,000 jobs. You're talking about in the month of June this year, we lost 13,000 jobs. And I just want to know, Truth Nation, are you better off today than what you were a year ago? And I look at y'all 1017 The Truth on YouTube, and Brain Rot said, during the campaign, I heard it can't get worse, so vote Republican or try something new. I said it can get much worse. They called me brain rot. Guess my brain isn't as rotten as they said. Ding, ding, ding. That's 100% true. Things have seemed to me that they have gotten worse for a lot of people. We have so many people that are unemployed. Unemployment is going up here in America, right? So we have an issue going on in this country, and it seems to be not enough people are up in arms. But 833-212-1017, Brian in Milwaukee. What are your thoughts about, are you better off today than what you were a year ago?
Well, if health is wealth, I'm better off. My health is tremendous.
That's wonderful to hear.
But as far as everybody else, and as far as financial part of the economy, yes, it's much worse. Much worse.
Why do you say that?
I think, well, for one, no job growth. Number two, nobody thought that Trump, nobody on, put it this way, conservative side, thought Trump would neutralize jobs by cutting jobs, raising tariffs, and bringing in AI. Nobody thought that was happening during his campaign. This is something we thought the Democrats were going to pull. But for the fact that he's pulling it, it's horrendous.
Yeah,
so it's bad all the way over for people that don't have a job and don't have good health. It's very bad. And I repudiate anyone that sticks with a charlatan conservative message, because at the end of the day, as we're seeing with Trump now, he's going to change his stripes. And I'm sorry for the fact that he's a Gemini. He's basically just a two-face.
Whoa. You're talking to a Gemini now, Brian. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Don't ding that. I'm not two-faced. There's some of us that are.
I'm talking about Trump, not you.
Well, I'm a Gemini too, so I got to no, Brian. I appreciate you. I'm right there with you, though. I am concerned because, again, I am one that I truly believe in. If you see something wrong, you call it out, right? If you see something wrong, and I talk about it all the time. I call out these Democrats in Milwaukee every week, every single week. I give them praise, but I also call them out as well because I don't like some of the stuff that they're doing. But we have to be able to call things out in order for us to actually get movement and change, right? We cannot stick to, well, I voted this way, so I can't waver. No, if somebody's doing something you disagree with, or somebody's doing something that's harming your community, or somebody's doing something that's harming you or negatively impacting the country that you love and that you believe in, you should speak out. You should not be committed to an individual or a party. You should be committed to yourself. And you should be committed to this country being at its best. Donald Trump, Republican, Joe Biden, Democrat, those people don't represent us in this country all the way. If they're doing something wrong, call them out. Because right now what we're seeing is we're seeing this country deteriorate and we're seeing this country struggle. There is no way that you see job numbers like the ones that you just saw and you say nothing. That's why I want you to go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, because I got something for Fox News. Everybody knows Fox News leans right. This is a Fox News report. Make sure y'all go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, or turn your radio up, or turn up your 1017 The Truth app. Make sure y'all stream us now. Rhea, open up your stream too. Make sure y'all watch and stream us live as well, or stream us on the 1017 The Truth app. Because this is from Fox News, and this is them breaking the news about the job numbers and their breakdown of the job numbers.
It's not the number you wanted. It was not the number that was expected. How come?
Right. Well, one of the things we know is that they've been really at BLS struggling with bad response rates. And Goldman Sachs put out a study yesterday that said that they've been messing up the August seasonal so much that over the last 10 to 15 years, they've tended to have to revise up the number by around almost 70,000 jobs when they get the new final surveys.
So it's their fault?
And so, well, I'm saying that this number, we expect this number will be revised up. That's been the pattern over and over. And if that happens, then it'll be consistent with all the other indicators we're seeing.
The revisions for June and July collectively were lower.
We're lower,
and you're
right.
saying the revisions for next month will come back. We'll see whether or not that's the case.
Yeah, and there's another big revision next week. But the point is that these numbers, the reason why they're getting revised so much is that these numbers are based on surveys, and people are kind of not filling out the surveys until the last minute.
So we got a whole system, right, that we've been doing for years and years and years to report. And I'm glad that the guy from Fox News said, so wait a minute. So you said May and June were revised down, but you're telling me August is being revised up? Wait. You can't just blow smoke up people's behinds. And I'm happy that the journalist there from Fox News did a follow-up question allowing for the past history to say, wait a minute, you said it's going to be revised up, but they were revised down the previous 2 months. And then he stuttered and said, well, we're hoping and all this. I'm telling y'all this right now. We're in a bad shape. And they're throwing people out there just to talk and say things to try to make people feel good and confident. But again, men lie, women lie. You just saw a man lie. But them numbers don't lie. 833-212-1017. Jules in Milwaukee. How do you feel about the current state of this country when it comes to our economy? And do you feel better off today than what you did a year ago?
I am terribly concerned about the current state of our economy. I think on the horizon, a lot of the stuff that we have been seeing happening, I think it will begin to unfold in the very near future. It's right on the horizon. I don't think we've begun to realize or understand the impact of the decision-making by the folks in charge. But we will soon. I think it's coming up pretty soon. And I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it at all. And I wanted to just say to you, though, that just like what we saw with the looking back in history at this Civil War, and how, the country was divided over the issue of race and whether or not one part of the country should carry on with the institution of slavery and benefiting from that, and whether the other one wouldn't, or whether we shouldn't. And so the country was divided over that issue. There were people who were prepared to burn it all down rather than accept a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multiracial democracy. And guess what? There are those in this country today who are just as willing to see it all burned down.
Jules hit it. There are people who are willing to burn this country down, people willing to give their lives to keep the institution of slavery still enacted in the South, the way of life to have people in bondage and slavery beaten and treated as second-class citizens. They were ready to destroy this country. Do not think that, though we don't have something that extreme, do not think that mentality still doesn't exist. Tory Lowe went to Iowa County in Wisconsin last weekend to help defend a young black family and a young black boy that had to deal with people that have that mentality, that look at you as a second-class citizen or look at you like an animal. Put somebody next to up against a meat grinder. So you have a lot of people, these are children. Imagine what they're saying in their house, the parents are saying in their house. So there are people out there who don't care about the country, don't care about you, and don't care about the well-being of others. So I'm so glad Jules said that. 833-212-1017. We come back. We're going to wrap up the show. I'm going to share my final thoughts on today's conversation. Again, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. I love the comments that you guys have today. As we're having a conversation, just simply talking about the state of this country economically. Do you feel better off today than where we were at a year ago? Do you feel confident that we are heading in the right direction? Do you wake up every morning know that this country is on a path to being a better? 833-212-1017. I'll take your calls, I'll take your texts, and we'll wrap up the show in 3 minutes.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hey, is this Carolyn?
It is.
Congratulations, Carolyn. You just won this.
Congratulations. Woo!
God is good all the time.
What would you do with $5,000?
I'm going to buy my nieces some school clothes because my nephew just passed away.
Aww.
So I'm going to get them some clothes.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Fall in Milwaukee, where the air is crisp, the drinks are cold, and the good times are just heating up. Stroll Milwaukee's lakefront and explore its parks as they burst into a kaleidoscope of golds, ambers, and reds. Raise a glass at a beer garden that feels like a neighborhood block party, Milwaukee style. And just as the temps fall, Brewers baseball is turning up the heat. October dreams are made right here. This season, every color, every cheer, every sip, it all comes together in Milwaukee. Craft your perfect getaway at visitmilwaukee.org.
Truth Nation, are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Well, attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, September 11th from noon to 3 p.m. in the parking lot of Walgreens located at 9040 West Good Hope Road. Vendors from multiple employment sectors will be present to meet with you and share opportunities for hiring, training, upskilling, and so much more. They will also feature a live DJ, food, and refreshments, all while supplies last. Brought to you by Alderman Mark Chambers Jr., Alderman Lamont Westmoreland, and Alderwoman Larissa Taylor. Sponsored by City of Milwaukee, Milwaukee Common Council, City of Milwaukee Department of Administration, Office of Community Wellness and Safety, Northcott Neighborhood House, Fathers Making Progress, Northwest Side Community Development Corporation, State of Wisconsin, DWD, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, UMOS, DCMKE, 30th Street Corridor, Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee Urban League, Maximus, and Amplifier.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, your host of Truth to Power. And again, we're coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. I was going to tell you about the cleaning. So I hired a cleaning service. Once a year, I have a cleaning service come by. And I ain't got a big house. I got to my house at 8:15. They are still there. What ain't that much to clean? My house ain't that dirty. It's not that. I don't know. Rhea, it ain't that dirty.
I mean, they still there, Kyle.
They milking it. Because they charge by the hour. I told baby girl, I said, kick their ass out. She said they just got to the basement. I said, just got to the basement? What is they cleaning? Ain't that, listen, ain't no way in the world. I'm finna have it out with these folks. I'm telling them, like, I don't know what the hell y'all got going. I know it ain't three of y'all taking that long to clean. Ain't no way in the world. They ain't that much dusting that take no damn 5 hours to dust my house. My house upstairs is 1,400 square feet. Basement's like, I don't know, 800 square feet. Ain't no way in the world to take 5 hours to clean a place like that. Open concept. But anyways, Truth Nation, I got distracted. Watch the stream us live on YouTube, by the way. Is basically the bottom line is this. Our economy is struggling. When I look at things like prices going up, do realize that 85% for Halloween's coming up, and 85% of the Halloween costumes that we get, where people dress as little sexy nurses, or people dress as genies, or dress as whatever they want to be, your kids dressed up as a little pumpkin, 85% of those costumes come from China. And guess what our government slapped on China? Do you know what our government slapped on China, Rhea?
Tariffs.
Tariffs. And who pays for the tariffs?
We do.
We do. So Halloween prices and costume prices are going up this year. So when y'all go to celebrate that pagan holiday of Halloween and you see prices are up, I told you so. People told you so. And the thing about this is you can't show me one economic policy win from the Trump administration that has positively impacted us. Having us pay more in tariffs doesn't win for the country. The job numbers are bad. I talked about it. Only 22,000 jobs gained in August, 13,000 jobs lost in June. Interest rates are still high and have been high for years. And Biden was able to see job growth during the interest rates being high. But for some reason, Trump wants to blame the high interest rate and Jerome Powell, the chair of the Fed, for the fact that we had bad job numbers when interest rates were higher during the Biden administration due to the inflation, due to all the, everything we were dealing with from the pandemic. But he still found good job numbers. But now Trump is using that as an excuse for why the job numbers are low. How is it possible that Trump could blame the interest rates, but it didn't negatively impact the Biden administration? Making up excuses. So, again, I share all these numbers and I share all this information so we aren't bamboozled and so you have the facts. Because as I always say with all the shows, my goal is to make sure, Truth Nation, is that you're able to go about and have conversations with people. When people start talking about this or talking about that, I want to provide y'all with the information and the tools to be able to say, well, you ain't got to say according to me. You can just say according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, we only gained 22,000 jobs this year in August of 2025, and we gained 142,000 jobs in the month of August of 2024. That's just facts. I just want to make sure y'all understand that. I don't want us to get bamboozled again.
2, 3.
And do know this. I'll say this with conviction. Had Kamala Harris won this election, we would not be in the current economic state. Our economy would have continued to thrive. Interest rates were already ticking down during the Biden administration. Interest rates would all be down. It'd be more affordable to borrow money. It'd be more affordable for your credit cards. It'd be more affordable to buy a car. It'd be more affordable to buy a house. Your mortgage wouldn't be so high if we just wouldn't have voted, or they wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump. And now, because of Donald Trump, our Federal Reserve have no choice but to cut the rates, which risks inflation going back up. Y'all done messed around and y'all found out, and our country is going to hell in a handbasket. This has been Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Appreciate y'all for listening today. The Tory Lowe Show is up next from 1 to 4. And tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about the N-word here on Truth to Power, so definitely want to stay locked in for that. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Watch your mouth.
Whoa. We address people, young boys, as